Now the Vikings and the Bears. I'm going to say this once. I'm going to say this one time.
Game.
Horrible offensive execution. Horrible. However, I like the Vikings' resiliency at the end to come back after 4 interceptions, to come back after multiple turnovers. Everything was down and out. To stay with Dobbs, him to come back and fight like he did, that's admirable.
Yep.
But your defense being on the field for all that game, is it time to see more of Jaron Hall, or do we stick with Josh Dobbs?
I think you stick with Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Jaron Hall is, I think he's going to be a good backup.
I think, honestly, Jaron Hall, I think you stick with Dobbs for now. But after the Raiders game, if things don't start getting going,
nope,
you have
stick
to.
With Hall. Or you stick with Dobbs.
I don't think so, because Jaron Hall, like, people forget when his first quarter that he played before the concussion, he was playing pretty good. What's the worst that can happen? He sucks. So is Dobbs right now. Like Dobbs
is keeping you. Dobbs is winning you games
for 58 58 minutes, 48 minutes for the last 2 minutes of the game. He was awful, and then finally he comes up and finally plays well.
But the thing about it is, look at what he's done before that. He came into
but teams are keen in on him now. He's making mistakes.
Yeah, he is making mistakes, but he'll be all right.
I think that you have to at least consider it, because with Jaron Hall, with the way that Dobbs is playing in certain situations, here's the thing. He doesn't need to play like an all-pro, Ben. You just need to have a guy that comes in and doesn't make a ton of mistakes, that can just pick up first downs, pick up third downs and do that.
Any quarterback.
But I mean, that's the thing is like he's making mistakes. And if it was any other quarterback right now that was making mistakes, it would be kind of one of those things where people wouldn't be making excuses for him. But Josh Dobbs, to me, I think he's an impressive quarterback. I think he has a place in the NFL. I just think that there needs to be better execution. There needs to be a better game plan with him as your quarterback. If he's going to be your quarterback, I want to see more rollout passes. I want to see more read option. I want to see more of him using his legs as opposed to keeping him in the pocket and being a passing quarterback. Because
that's not how their offense is set up. Their offense is set up around Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, well, you need to, as a coach, nobody cares. You have to find ways to win the game. And if that means you change up your offense a little bit.
You lost one game. I mean, you're still in the hunt.
You've lost 2 games in a row.
Yeah, but.
So, I think you need to.
And the thing about it is you're going to split with Chicago. You're going to split with Detroit, and you're going to split with Green Bay. You see it every year in this division. Mm-hmm. Nobody sweeps that division.
If that happens, they lose. They're out of the playoffs. So that's not an option.
Then they're
at this
out of
point.
the playoffs.
That's not an option at this point. So my thing is, if you're making a push for the playoffs, you have to find a way to build this offense around Josh Dobbs in the next 5 games. Good luck. That's all I got to say. So I think Justin Fields and the Bears, they did exactly what they needed to do in that they ran the ball. They played some good defense to be able to force 4 turnovers and do all that kind of a thing, and also get to Josh Dobbs and company. But, I mean, it wasn't pretty in any stretch of the imagination. And for the Vikings, like we touched on it, I think you got to see what Josh Dobbs can do this next week against the Raiders. But after that is your stretch, man. You got a game against the Packers. You got 2 games against the Lions. You got to be able to get it done.
I mean, realistically,
and the Bengals.
You started the year, 0-3?
0-3 and then 1-4, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, your playoff hopes were pretty...
I mean, but then you come back, you win 5 straight,
Yeah, but who won 5 straight?
Kirk Cousins won 3 and then Josh Dobbs won 2.
Yeah, see?
I don't know what you're...
So, I'm just saying Josh Dobbs is going to be your guy.
I think I just want to see better execution. That's it.
Yeah,
TJ Hawkinson,
I can understand that.
TJ Hawkinson, 5 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. I mean, there's glimpses of him being unstoppable, like he is Thor out there, and then there's glimpses where it's like, dude, catch the ball. So I don't know. Defensively, I don't have a gripe about the Vikings defense. I don't care what anybody says. Daniil Hunter's a stud. Ivan Pace Jr. is a stud.
I mean, you kept a decent offense to 10 points.
And they did not score. And 12 points. They didn't score a touchdown all the entire game. And so my gripe is not with the offense or with the defense. Excuse me. If your defense is only going to let up 12 points and no touchdowns, you got to find a way to win the game. I know you turned it over 4 times, but it is what it is there. But
preaching to the choir, bud.
Yep.